Hopefully you can see me. Oh Lord. Let me say welcome to the Lisa Loves Stitching channel. My name's Lisa. I'm coming to you from Brisbane in Queensland, Australia, and it is the 12th of March 2022, and the dogs are just running around at my feet. I'm on my front balcony and it's a nice day. It keeps coming overcast and it sort of sprinkled a little bit with some rain just about 10 minutes ago, but we'll see if the rain stays away. So yeah, this is just going to be a fairly quick catch up because I don't have a lot to show you, but yeah, I thought I'd just check in. So what have I got for you today? I have a new start and finish all in one. Oh yes, Paris, you want to say hello? Oh, hello. Turn around so everyone can see ya. You say hello, hello, hello. There you go. She wanted a pat. Sooty will run away if I try to get her, I think, and she's too heavy to pick up from this angle. She's a chunky girl. So what have I got? I've got a new start and a finish. Well, a dodgy finish, I have to say. Couple of new designs, and or 3 new designs, and one whip, and well, one cross stitch whip, one knitting whip, and a blast from the past, let's say, as well as one acquisition. So let's get into it. I hope you've had a good month. Firstly, I want to say and acknowledge the terrible atrocity that's happening at the moment in the Ukraine. It's just disgraceful. It's just unbelievable. I just can't believe that they've. I just can't believe it. I'm speechless. Yeah, it breaks my heart to see all the people who've had to up and leave their homes, innocent civilians getting bombed, that children's hospital, maternity hospital took the cake. Seeing old ladies shoved in trolleys and stuff to move them in the middle of a winter, is very sad, very, very sad. And we also recently experienced a 1 in 2,000 year flood event in Queensland and northern New South Wales. So basically, it's an unprecedented event because we got this rain bomb, which means it sits over one area and just keeps raining and raining. So basically, Queensland got 80% of our rainfall over a couple of days. It was just unbelievable. And so areas that don't normally flooded, and people, their homes went completely under, and they've already had to deal with previous floods, so it's just been devastating. Lismore, the whole town virtually got wiped off the map. People got trapped in their roofs. One cow floated down the river and ended up in the ocean, but luckily made it to the beach looking shell-shocked. It was just terrible. My former rheumatologist was washed away, sadly, in the floods on his way back from seeing patients up north in Bundaberg and Rockhampton, and he was driving home and got washed a couple of kilometres down the road and drowned. So just really sad. Just 13 people dead in Queensland. I think about 13 people dead in New South Wales, and it was unprecedented because it's basically half of Australia was affected, because the largest population, I think, in Australia sits on the east coast, and basically almost the whole east coast of Australia was affected by flooding rain. So Western Sydney copped it, as well as northern New South Wales and Queensland, and yeah, just devastating. So I feel for anyone who was affected by those floods, and I hope that you didn't lose your home and that you're okay. And if you've got anyone in the Ukraine who's affected by the war, I send my love to you, and I hope that things will get better. Hopefully something will happen that will stop this from going any further. So that's what I wanted to just say up front before I get started on things. So, what will I show you first? I think I'll show you my current whips. So, this one's still in the... I'm going to drop my needle in there and hope I find it again. This is on 36 count lemon butter by Jay's Cross Stitch. I'm just going to put this, actually I'll take it out of its frame so that you can see it in full. I really love all the classic books, and my first classic that I ever read was Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice, something that I love watching, the 1990, was it the 1995 adaptation or 1992 adaptation with Colin Firth as Mr. Darcy. That was my favourite, so that's why I chose this one first. And you know, I love houses, and we all love stitching houses. We don't necessarily want to stitch a whole massive sampler, but this is a sort of a medium to small size little piece. So the bit at the bottom that I'm going to show you is the very bottom of it, so it's not huge, and it's going to have some writing in 1/1. But this is Longbourn 1813, so I'm still working on it. I have released the pattern. You can get it in my Etsy shop, Lily Pilly Stitches. Basically we've got Longbourn, which is based on the house used in the BBC 1995 production. And the only slight change was this is supposed to be rounded, but for aesthetics, for this purpose, it's easier to do it in cross stitch as more square. The porch is slightly different, but otherwise it's pretty much the whole house is exactly as it is in real life. And across, so we've got some little urn things sit at the top of the house, and then across the middle here will be 1813. And so the house is sort of, that's the halfway mark there, so you can imagine it's going to come over to about here with a little bit more greenery. And here are the Bennett sisters walking home from church, discussing the fact that Mr. Bingley has let Netherfield Park, and they're all laughing at their mother because she's getting excited that they might marry, one of them might marry him. And so we've got, in order, we've got Jane, she's leading the way, with Lizzie and Mary and Kitty and then Lydia. So in the time of Jane Austen and the time that this was written, the sisters went in order of birth, so the eldest sister would lead the way whenever they were walking somewhere, and the youngest would follow in the back. So that's how I've put them. And you know, a lot of times in the film, there was one time Lizzie wore a really pretty soft blue dress, and Jane usually wore like soft pinks and stuff. And then Mary was more of a grey blue, so she was a bit more serious. And then Kitty and Lydia were the wild ones. So Kitty's in a bright blue, and Lydia, of course, is standing out from the crowd in purple. So, but you can change those to whatever you've got in your stash, because there aren't many stitches in these. So if it's more economical, just change from something in your stash to make their dress whatever colour you like. And I kept to white, just it makes the colours stand out on top. Yeah, so there's quite a lot of stitches in this house, but it's quite nice because there's large colour blocks, so you know, you get nice sections where you can just mindlessly stitch. And we've got the tree here up the side, so, and then we've got these cute little, there'll be another urn on this side with flowers in, the pink flowers. And that was something that was also visible in the movie. They had some urns at the front. They didn't have pink flowers in, but that was just my take on it. And then here will be the saying from the opening scene, where it says, you know, a man in possession of a gentleman in possession of a good fortune must be in want of a wife. So that will be there with Jane Austen, and a little border around it. So that's basically the whole pattern. And as I said, it's on 36 count Lemon Butter by Jay's Cross Stitch. It's a really nice neutral, a really soft lemony yellow, and yeah, I really love it. It's all done in DMC, and yeah, I think it's great. So if you're interested in this, I'm still stitching it, but I wanted to stitch enough that I could check the colours and give you, make sure that it was all fine. And showing this here, it gives you a bit of an example of what it will look like. And hopefully I'll have that finished soon so I can share that with you once I fully finish it. So that's Longbourn 1813. And then my other finish, other whip. Actually, I've got 2 whips for cross stitch. My other whip, and I don't know if I've stitched much on this since the last time. I think I have. I don't think last time I'd done the door or anything. So this is on 32 count duck egg from number 12 Stitch Co. So I'll just pop that here. We'll just move the needle up the top so it's out of the way. And this is Bunny Burrow, and hopefully I've only got the flowers to do and some eggs in a basket, and I'm basically finished and I can release this pattern. So I'll try and have that released by Easter. So I think last time I might have only started to just come down here with the grass, but I've now finished the grass. There's an Easter egg there, and I've started putting in some eggs in a basket there. I finished the door. I finished Mrs. Bunny's feet and put the door handle on. Yeah, so it's looking good. And I don't know, I think I'd finished Mr. Bunny and the window prior when I showed you, and I've done one more flower here. So there'll be some more of this style flower over here in amongst it, and maybe another one of these ones there, and then that's it, it'll be finished. So I'll just show you that. So hopefully I'll have that to you soon. Hopefully you can see that, because I've got the camera facing away so I can't see. And I got this in a lovely project bag that Dawn Frosty Cross Stitch got me. And my next one, so that's my cross stitch whips, and I'll just quickly show you my knitting whip because there's nothing much changed on that really from the last time. Like, I've stitched a bit, but it's still the same colour. It doesn't look hugely different. I have changed my stitch markers. So in my shop I have these little coloured rocks, a set. So this is one of the sets. They're all different colours, similar but different, each one. You won't know what exactly you're going to get till you get it. There's a little green one and a darker green one. And then I've got my apple progress keeper. So since the last time we spoke, I've only done not quite an inch on my cardigan. So, and of course I didn't finish the row, I just started, so yeah, not that that shows you anything because it's all bunched up, but yeah, so that's looking good. I'm still working my way, I'm halfway through the increases, so yeah, but I really love this fabric. It's turning out beautiful. The colours are just so beautiful. I wish I had enough to do a whole cardigan in this colour. It's just so springy and gorgeous, really pretty. So that's my knitting whip, and it's in my Easter bunny bag. This is by Totes A Go Go. I think she's located in Toowoomba, but she's on Etsy, Totes A Go Go. I'll just show you her logo so you can find her on Etsy. Hopefully you can see that. And I'll try and remember to put the details down below. So that's in my, oh, and it comes with a cute, I got a Notions bag with it as well. And it's just got the spotty fabric, and that's where I keep my stitch markers in there. And it's got like a little beaded pull on the end, so that's cute. So that goes in there. It's just got 2 snaps, which this is perfect. This is like a sock bag, so you could put your balls in and have your yarn separated coming out the top, because it's just got these snaps that separate it. So that's that one. Then my new start and finish was my new start and dodgy finish, let's just say that. Finishing, especially ornament type finishes, is not my forte, and we're not even gonna, we'll glance quickly at the back. Stick on felt, really bad, really. So this is Luck of the Irish, which I finished on some hand-dyed blue fabric, sort of mottly blue white fabric. I can't remember where I got that from. And I put it on some sticky board with some batting underneath, and I didn't pull it tight enough, so it's a bit loosey-goosey. But this is Luck of the Irish, and it's a cute little one, so it would look, I'm sure you'll do a better job at finishing it than me. And then I just put some pink braiding I had on the side, because that's all I had in my stash. And it's got a little bit of ribbon at the top to hang it if you had a tree to hang it on or something, but I just sit it up on my display case. So yeah, so that's Luck of the Irish. So he's got his pot of gold, and he's smoking a pipe. So that's that one. So that's available in my Etsy shop. Yeah, so that's that. And my other one, which I'll insert a picture somewhere here, is the Needleworker's Nightmare Halloween ornament, or pin keep, whichever way you want to finish it. And I haven't stitched it yet, but I have released the pattern. So it's Rip It Enterprises, and Mr. Frog, he's the one you don't want to see knocking on your door. He makes uninvited house calls. So the sign sort of says, we visit, you rip it. So when the frog calls, shut the doors, turn the lights off, and hide. So yeah, he's available in my Etsy shop as a PDF download as well. So check that out at Lily Pilly Stitches. So they're my cross stitchy bits and a bit of knitting. And now I'm going to show you a blast from the past, which is quilting related. So many years ago, like I'm talking when I was like probably 20 years ago, I was still at uni, I think. My mum's friend Carolyn, she used to go to the auctions, and she bought this random box of stuff. She didn't even know what was in the box. Just a random box of stuff for $5 at an auction. And when she was digging around down the bottom of this massive box, she found bags and bags of hexies with old clothing fabric, not proper quilting fabric, it was clothing fabric. And they were the cardboard was just like old cardboard out of Triumph bra packets, and that cut up, just random bits of cardboard. And there was a partially done quilt top with the hexies sewn, so the lady had already done part of it, and it appears to be clothing out of whatever she had in her stash from old clothes from her wardrobe or children's wardrobes or whatever. So I don't know what happened to the lady or why she didn't finish it, but I ended up getting gifted the quilt top plus all the hexies, and that's where I ended up making I joined all the hexies that were loose into my Frankenstein's Flower Garden quilt, which I showed maybe 2 years ago on here, and I surrounded it in black so the colors would pop, and then I dodgily finished that quilt because I'd never finished a quilt before, so I didn't know what I was doing. So yeah, I had this quilt top, but it wasn't quite evened out. It had sort of partially done around the edge, so it still needed some more going around, another row going around the edge. So what I did was I've sewed the final pieces around the very edge of it, and the rest is all done by another lady who I don't know who she was, and hopefully if she's no longer with us anymore, she'll be pleased that somebody finished her quilt or is going to finish her quilt. So I've just got the quilt top, and I dug it out the other day because I'd totally forgotten about it, and I thought, oh, and it's not perfect. You can tell it's hand stitched, but I thought it'd be nice to get some batting and some backing and finally finish this so I can hang it on the wall, so, or have it as a lap quilt. So this is it in all its glory. Look at all the different fabrics from the 80s and maybe even the 70s. Very cool. Maybe even some earlier fabrics from the 50s. Yeah, so just gorgeous. Just the range of different fabrics. Even some are like nylon-y stuff, rayon and nylon, and some are cotton, and yeah, just a whole different one. Some have got stains on. Like this one's cotton, but it's almost threadbare. It's so thin. And you can see here's one of the old wax paper type backing, hexie. So you can see the original hexies there in the brown, and then these ones are her ones that were from a later time, maybe out of the Triumph bra packet. So yeah, so anyway, so these ones here, this sort of row going all the way around, that's the one I stitched on here, and the rest is all done by the other lady. So I'll just try and carve this so I can show you a bit, as I'll show you all the different fabric. Yeah, so you can tell it's all, you know, pieces from old clothes and stuff. Yeah, so that's a blast from the past. So I'm hoping to get her finished so that I don't know whether I'll get someone to do, it might be too dodgily put together to get someone to quilt it, or I might just hand quilt it myself. Look at this one, it's like woven fabric. It's coming apart, but yeah, so anyway, so I think this wouldn't last long if it was a lap quilt, because some of the fabrics are fragile. So I think once I finish it, I'll just hang it in my craft room. So that's my quilt blast from the past that I can't really take much credit for other than when I finish it. So this other thing you will have seen, I'll just show you my acquisition. If you haven't watched my separate video for my lace making travel case, you can go and have a look at that in detail, but I'll just quickly show you. I got my travel case, and it's the Harlequin lace one, and it's got a little Harlequin on the end, and it's a really light, only weighs 1 kilo, and this is perfect for me to take away on trips. And I need to start a project on this one. And then when I open it up, it's got its own little pillow to sit on your lap, and then it's got a little quilted piece to hold all your bobbins, and then you've got your wheel that spins around and a pin cushion. And then I worked out, since, because some of the ladies from my lace group said this little rubber wedge is for pushing down in here to stop this wheel from moving whilst I'm working the pattern, and then when I'm ready to, I can unpin stuff and move the wheel around to keep going, so that I make one big continuous piece of lace. So that's my little kit. It's got a little protector there, so when you've got your pins in, it doesn't get caught in the thing, and you've got storage space up in here for your bobbins. So that is perfect. So, oops, I forgot to put the bean bag back in. I better do that, otherwise I'll lose it. I might get to test this out soon. You'll find out why in a minute. So, on a cross-stitch related chat, I recently saw, oops, fluff on me. I recently saw that a Stitch in Time in Hobart. It's a needlework store I've been to a couple of times whenever Wayne and I have travelled to Hobart on holiday. I always make a stop there. It's a really lovely little shop just below street level. It's really cute. They are hosting in June this year, on the 18th and 19th of June. They'll be hosting during the Dark Mofo art event in Hobart. They will be hosting a Dark Mojo event, which the guest will be Joanna of Mojo Stitches, and you may be familiar with her design. She's an Australian designer, and she does beautiful Quaker samplers, but with a Aussie floral patterns on there that speak of the Australian bush, and she does other beautiful Australiana flora, a lot of flora, and beautiful little pieces with using a lot of cottage garden threads. So I'm really excited. We're going to have an exclusive pattern, and she'll show us how to do some finishing for it, so that will be fun. And it's over 2 days, so on the 18th and 19th of June. So I have put my name down, and I've had my invoice this morning, so I've paid my deposit. And I hope if you saw that ad, you are now coming, so I look forward to seeing you there. Let me know down below if you're coming. And I'm looking forward to finally being able to catch up with Joanna in person, because we've been chatting online, and it's ought to be really nice to catch up and see her in person, and finally meet each other. So hopefully you're able to come. That would be really wonderful. I think there's a wait list now, so if you still want to come, put your name down. There's an expression of interest form. Check out the A Stitch in Time website. So I mistakenly didn't read the thing because I was so excited. I just I hit add to cart, even though it was a 000 free thing, and it says explicitly do not add to cart. But I did anyway. I got an email from Carolyn, and she said, can you please go to this link and fill in the expression of interest form? So I did that. So if you're not sure, contact the shop and fill in the expression of interest form. There is a wait list now because they have filled the places, but that's just there in case someone pulls out before or doesn't pay their invoice. So there is a wait list you can go on if you're still interested. Now the trial is to try and find accommodation, because there's a big event on in Hobart. It's not a big city. I've now got to try and find accommodation and flights. So I'm nervous, excited, because this is my first time traveling on a plane since before the pandemic. The last time, just before the pandemic hit, was February 2020. I had just come back from the Mirabilia retreat, and then a few weeks later, bam, we're in a pandemic. So I haven't travelled anywhere. I haven't even seen my mum and nan yet. So I'm also planning a trip to visit them around Anzac Day, which is April 25th, or maybe the week before for Easter. But we'll see what flights I can get, because I'm desperate to see them. I haven't seen them in 2 years, so that'll be really good. And yeah, so I'm looking forward to that travel, but also highly nervous. I don't want to get COVID. But anyway, I'm triple vaxxed, so there's not much more I can do. Wear a mask, wash my hands, and I'll take some rat tests with me, and lots of hand sanitizer. So yeah, so I'm really looking forward to having a retreat finally after 2 years. It's wonderful. And I know Fox and Rabbit Designs, if you are in Australia and you love Mirabilia, they are holding a Mirabilia retreat and still have some places available, and that'll be, I think, in November 2022. So check out their website for more info, or get in touch with them. They're over at market at the moment, so yeah. What else? Oh, Wayne and I recently went this week for our first sort of outing for a long time, to an evening performance at St. John's Cathedral in the city, and it was, I wasn't sure what to expect, because I knew it was an ABBA concert, but I didn't know in what form, if it was like a rock concert in a way in a church, and I thought, how's that going to work? But when we turned up, there's candles, faux candles lit and going up leading up to the front door of the church. And when we went inside, it's all in darkness except for a few spotlights up in the roof, and the rest was all just candlelight. So there was thousands of candles everywhere, and we were sitting right up the front, and there was a string quartet of 4 women, and they played beautifully. And so they played all the hits of ABBA, like the big hits of ABBA, including one of their most recent songs. So that was really good. And they're called candlelight performances, so check it out, because they do them all the time apparently, and they're all over the world. Like apparently 70 countries do them. So check out to see if there's one near you that you could go to, because they're really good. So another night they're playing Queen music, another night Tchaikovsky, and so on. So yeah, they do a whole repertoire. So it was really, really good. Totally relaxing. Probably recommend having a nap beforehand, because when you're sitting in the dark by candlelight listening to nice music, it's actually so relaxing that you feel like you could almost doze off, not from boredom but just from being totally relaxed in that low light environment. So maybe have a nap before you go. I didn't fall asleep, but I almost did, because I was just closed my eyes to listen to the music and absorb it, and then I started to drift off, and I'm like, ooh, wake up. I don't want to miss it. So yeah, so Wayne and I just went out for that, and his mum and dad babysat the dogs for us, which was really nice. And that's about it really. We've just been hanging at home. I mean, the weather's been pretty crap, so we haven't been able to go anywhere other than that. And yeah, we're sort of in autumn now, so looking forward to the cooler weather, because it has been quite steamy and hot lately. So anyway, that's all I've got for you today. I've probably rambled on way too long, and hopefully I'll catch you in a month. So yeah, and I'll have some footage hopefully in April of my trip to Newcastle, and then I'll be able to share with you my retreat experience, so that'll be really good. So anyway, I'll catch you later. Take care. Bye.